Hey, you. You look like a bright young gamer. Do you know your Sega history?
No.
I thought you were gonna say that. Well, do you want to learn?
Yeah.
I bet you do. So join me, Sega Slayer 64 or Professor Sega Slayer 64, cause it's time to learn your Sega history. Hey Slayers, I'm the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, the Sega Slayer 64, and welcome to a certain video today. So yeah, welcome back to Sega history. Man, it's good to be back. I hope you know your Sega history. No, but in reality, yeah, we're back, man. We're back with Sega history, the one and the only, the greatest of all the series. You need to watch it. Like, why are you not watching Sega history? Watch. Okay. All jokes aside, yeah, we're back, and I know this episode is a little bit delayed, because it should have been out last week, but hey, we're still going to get everything done. So, yeah, you might see that this Sega history is actually on the Sega Master System, or Sega Mark III FM sound unit, which is something that I feel personally doesn't get enough love, not only in the Sega community, but in the 8-bit gaming community as a whole. Like, it gets love, but it's like, dude, I feel like the FM sound could have made huge differences in future gaming landscapes, and I'll come back and explain that later, right? But this video is actually going to be split into two different parts. First off, how I'm going to actually be doing the first part is I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be obviously talking about, reading you the history of it and actually talking about it myself. Then in the second part, I'm going to be showing you my 3 favorite games with FM sound personally. And that's probably going to be recorded on my phone just because it's easier. It might be recorded on my PC, I'm going to have to see. But personally, I love the FM sound. It's a game changer. And stay tuned because I also have a little narrative coming up about why I think the FM sound could have been a big difference in the 16-bit generation. But you're going to have to stay tuned for that. That being said, let's get right into this. And hold on, give me a second. Okay, sorry for that. Sinuses. The thing is, it's been extremely hot where I am recently, which is not usual. So, yeah, they're really acting up. But anyway, so, the FM sound unit was made, obviously, for the Sega Mark III. It was manufactured by Sega, and it was an add-on for the Mark III, obviously. Now, the release date, it was only released in Japan, and it was actually released in 1987, and it retailed for about 6,800 yen, is how I guess you would pronounce it. Now, I don't know what that would translate to in American dollars. In fact, I'm actually going to go find out, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the retail price translates similar to around, I'd say, 60. It translates exactly into US dollars as $61.57. But I mean, let's be honest here. If this was released in the United States, it probably just would have been $60. I'm almost certain Sega would not have sold this for $61.57. That's an odd number to sell something for. They probably just would have sold it for $60. But yeah. So okay, let's get right into it. Okay, the FM sound unit is an add-on for the Sega Mark III, used to enhance the sound output of certain Mark III games. It was sold in Japan from 1987, obviously onward to for 1,600 yen or 6,800 yen. So the hardware, the FM sound unit contains a YM2413 FM chip that acts on top of the built-in SN7 6489 PSG chip, adding nice extra mono sound channels when the redesigned Sega Master System hit the Japanese market. The FM sound unit was built into the console, though it is absent from international releases, which is something we'll come back to, but it is so sad because this could have made a killing, and I think this could have made a killing, especially in places like Brazil and stuff. But I think it would have done well here in America, considering, I mean, well, the Master System itself didn't do that well, but I feel like it could have done okay in America. It was a pretty nice thing to have. Unfortunately, not all Mark III or Sega Master System games made use of this feature. The unit was not built into the Sega Mega Drive or power-based converter, so these extra features cannot be activated when playing Master System games on the Sega 16-bit console. On Sega's 16-bit console, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's one of the big points I think I have a big problem with. It would have been great to have this internationally, because at the moment, like, and the thing is now, as far as it, like, at the moment, right, Master System games internationally, you just have to deal with the 8-bit sound, but man, that FM sound is great, man, especially for games like, certain ones I'll show coming up, but to give a real quick example, Double Dragon, my god, that's not my favorite. My all-time favorite you'll see coming up, but like, dude, the FM sound is good. And as far as it not being compatible with all games, right? With it not being compatible with all games now, that's kind of to be expected, considering some games came out before it, some games only came out in certain markets, and certain games only took advantage of it if, you know, the developer wanted it to take advantage of it. So, yeah. Let's get right into this, okay? So I'm going to be reading you the whole compatibility of, the whole list of games, I guess you could say, that supports it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go down from, you know, A on down. So, Afterburner, Alex Kidd BMX Trial, Alex Kidd The Lost Stars, Alien Syndrome, Aztec Adventure, The Golden Road to Paradise, Blade Eagle, Bomber Raid, Captain Silver, Chuan Senshi, Borgman, I guess that's how you would pronounce that. Double Dragon, it's a Japanese name, I apologize. Double Dragon, Fantasy Zone 2, The Tears of Opa Opa, Fantasy Zone The Maze, Galactic Protector, Game D Check, I'm not even going to try and pronounce this one. It's just, we'll just call it Game D Check, Kautsu Enzen. I can't pronounce that. Gala, I can't pronounce that one either. A lot of remember, this thing was only released in Japan, so a lot of these names are Japanese names. Golvelis, I guess is how you would pronounce that. Great Golf, Hoshi Osagash. I cannot pronounce. Okay, how about this? I'm just gonna skip over the ones in Japanese, and I'll leave a link in the description to where you can read the whole list yourself. But we got Lord of the Sword, Maze Hunter 3D, Miracle Warrior, Seal of the Dark Lord, Outrun, Penguin Land, Phantasy Star, Power Strike, R-Type, Shinobi, Space Harrier 3D, Super Racing, Tensei Bakuban, Thunderblade, Wonder Boy and Monster Land, Ancient, Zaxxon 3D, Zillion 2, The Tri-Formation. And then it says, no, only the Japanese version of Phantasy Star and the YS, The Vanished Omens, have FM sound unit support. The following games, okay, look, the following games have FM soundtracks, but were not released in Japan. So yes, that's another thing, right? Certain games most international games still included the FM sound. So even if you was to take let's just say an American copy of Outrun, it will still have the FM sound if you put it in a Japanese Master System. It will still have it built directly into it, because I mean, it wasn't, who was going to take it out? And besides Phantasy Star and also YS The Vanished Omens, they only have Japanese, so only the Japanese versions have it. The other versions had it taken out. And yeah, so this is something weird right here, right? Because I'm gonna show you, these are international games, so you know, United States, Brazil, and all that have FM soundtracks built into the game, but were never released in Japan. So I think really quick letting you know that this section right here, personally, my belief is that this section, these games were, the FM sound unit I think was meant to come out in the US and everywhere else at some point, but because the Master System kind of did abysmal in the US, they never released it there. Now as for why it didn't come to, you know, the UK, because, you know, it did great in Europe and it did great in Brazil, and it also did great in Australia and South Korea, why it didn't come to those markets, I can't tell you. Maybe Sega just changed their mind, but these are international games here that do have FM soundtracks but actually never came out in Japan, which again just proves that it was meant to come out in other places at some point, but they just never did it. So the following games are Altered Beast, California Games, Casino Games, Cloudmaster, Galaxy Force, Golfomania, Outrun 3D, Poseidon Wars 3D, Rampage, Roston, Rescue Mission, Scramble Spirits, Shanghai, Tennis Ace, Time Soldiers, Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar, Vigilante, and Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. Okay, so this, like I said, this is confirmed that it's supposed to have, the FM sound that, maybe it was supposed to come out in other releases, but it never came out. So it says, out of these, only Wonder Boy 3 is known to have been released in South Korea. However, the FM audio in Wonder Boy 3 will only function with a Japanese system equipped with audio capabilities. Western consoles modified with FM audio use PSG due to the game's region detection code. However, the Wii Virtual Console version allows using the FM audio. Great Baseball, 1985, Pit Pot, and Teddy Boy Blues have control issues when the FM sound unit is connected, and Sega included a special notice with the add-on to let owners know of these compatibility issues. Essentially, a good number of games did support this thing, but at the same time, at least in Japan, the number was a lot bigger than in America. But would you say it's still enough to justify a purchase? I'd say yes. Yes, it is. You're looking at a decent number of titles here that do support FM sound in Japan. So, I'd say it is worth a purchase personally. And it also goes on to show you a scan of the box and things like that. Like I said, I'll link the article links in the description, so if you want to go see it. But other than that, it says Sega of Japan catalog pages, a Master System, references. It was also referenced in a Sega Hard Drive magazine a long time ago, and that was just kind of it. It was referenced there and just really kind of never talked about again. But now I want to personally get into, sorry for the little cut there, but yeah, that was the history of the console itself. Now I kind of want to get into my personal thoughts of the whole FM sound unit and how I think what it could have achieved and could have went on in its life to do, and other things like that. And then we'll get to the half of the video which you're all waiting for, my picks, my top 3 favorite FM Master System soundtracks, and also showing you some gameplay of Master System games with FM sound personally. But yeah, let's get right into this really quick. So I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm going to say here, but if you don't, the FM sound unit, I feel like Sega could have harnessed that technology and made it even better. Like, dude, I feel like that FM sound, because it's so good in my personal opinion, that whereas in the 16-bit generation, Nintendo had the Super Nintendo music, and a lot of people like to compare Sega Genesis music to Super Nintendo music, and Sega Genesis has some awesome freaking music, and so does, as I hate to admit it, so does the Super Nintendo. There's certain games on the Super Nintendo that just, I have my own certain tracks that I think sound better on each console. Take Battletoads versus Double Dragon, or Battletoads and Double Dragon, the Ultimate Team Up, or whatever it was called, I forgot. And personally, I actually, and I know I'm gonna get slack for saying this, I prefer the Super Nintendo track. I know, but I actually prefer the Genesis version, but I prefer the Super Nintendo music. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll take headphones, and for whenever I'm playing the game, I'll use the Super Nintendo music over the Genesis gameplay, because that game is kind of laggy on Super Nintendo. It's bad. I've seen it, and it's just it's not good. But the music on the Super Nintendo I did prefer. But no, a lot of Super Nintendo fans and Nintendo fans in general like to come at the Genesis and say, well, the the Super Nintendo had better music than the Genesis. It sounded better, and it actually sounded like it was real instruments, quote unquote. I was doing a quote unquote there, but it actually sounds like it's real instruments. So yeah, Genesis is trash. You're bad. And yeah, the Super Nintendo can sound like real instruments, but in reality, to me personally, I always just kind of felt like the Super Nintendo's version of real instruments was kind of just someone playing on a keyboard continuously, because lots of Super Nintendo music sounds extremely similar. Like, I'm sorry, but the Super Nintendo has the same old type of music process, and so does the Genesis. You know, the Genesis music is a lot more gritty and hard and like rock music. And clearly the Genesis does rock music better than the Super Nintendo. But the Super Nintendo would do more like, I'd say, relax tracks better than Genesis. It's just like, I don't, like, personally, the Super Nintendo never really truly did sound like it was real instruments to me. It kind of sounded like a keyboard's version of real instruments. So if you ever know a keyboard, if you've ever seen a keyboard in your life, which I don't play the keyboard, but I know people who do play the keyboard, and if you ever seen a keyboard in real life, you know that it has different modes for different instruments, anything from drums to trumpets to guitar, and that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a false version of the instrument being played on a keyboard, and that's what the Super Nintendo sounds like to me. But the FM sound, I think if Sega would have had that built into the Genesis, or even released the Genesis version, could have gave Sega a big upper hand in the 16-bit console war when it came to the music side of things. Because that FM sound, man, on the Master System of all things, I'd argue it competes with, if not completely blows away, Super Nintendo music. I really love FM music. It's super good, and I felt like it could have, if it was released in some form, some way for the Genesis, or even just built directly into the Genesis instead of the Genesis using the sound it went with. If it had some type of FM sound mode that could be activated on the console for developers to use, and it would have done a number to me. I think the FM sound on the Genesis could be really good. Just imagine like having your Sega CD and you're able to like control the FM sound with Sega CD. Like, with the Sega CD allowed for CD quality music, right, on games. Well, what if you could just have FM sound already built in, and you got some really good sound, man. The FM sound like module is really good, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I do the comparison really quick of different games that have FM sound and don't have FM sound. It's really good. It's really good, and yeah, I'm excited for this. I really am, because it's really good, and I think, like I said, I really do believe the FM sound could have gave Sega a huge advantage over in the console war when it came to the 16-bit era. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it could have gave them a big advantage. Second off, I really do wish they released it over here, at least naturally, in the US. Nowadays, collectors and different modders and things like that have found ways to just, open up an international UK, USA, Korean model Master System and just mod FM sound in there. You know what I'm saying? We found ways to do that, so you can do it. But I just think it should have been done in general here. Like, if it was when it came to America, they should have just had it built in. Even if they had to add extra prices onto it, maybe you should have just had it built in. The FM sound on some of these games would have, oh my god, it was so good, man. The NES could not compare to the FM sound. I mean, to be honest with you, the NES could barely compare with the Master System, in my personal opinion anyway. It's no secret that the Master System was a more powerful console than the NES. I mean, dude, the color looked good. I used to have this saying back in the day, personally, that yes, the NES is 8-bit, but the Master System was 9-bit, is what I would always say. And I know it's not actually 9-bit, it's 8-bit, but it was just a little joke I had between myself. It's just that, the Master System is 9-bit because it looks so much better than the NES, if you ask me. Like, dude, if you told me that the Master System was really 9-bit and the NES was 8-bit, I would totally believe you. But that being said, let's move on with the second half of the video, in which we take a look at 3 Master System games with FM sound and my 3 favorite soundtracks that personally use it. That being said, I'll be back in a second. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I'm trying to get it out, okay? It has been a week or two. No, it's been. Yeah, it's been exactly a week since the first half of this video was recorded. Because if you don't remember, the first half of this video was recorded a couple days, no, the day before or a couple days before I got sick. And now I'm actually recording this the Friday. I'm recording this Friday, the day after I released the update video. So hello there. Yeah, you're listening to a whole nother version of Sega Slayer 64. A version so far into the future from the last version, I don't even remember what I said in the old video. Heck, I don't even remember when which day I made the video on, if it was Thursday or Friday, and I don't remember how I segued this video, so I have to edit it, and I don't know what's going on, so, yeah. So, I mean, let's just get right into this, okay? So, from what I remember, okay, is I'm gonna be showing you, looking at my notes, at least from what I had planned for the video, I know I'm going to be showing you 3 of my favorite Master System FM sounds. Now, I want to give you a little fun fact. This part of the video right here was actually supposed to be made by itself. It was originally going to be its own video where I just did my top 5 or top 6 favorite Master System FM songs. But I actually had the idea to include a mini top 3 inside of the Sega history I wanted to do on the FM sound converter as well. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to be giving you my 3 all-time favorite, hold on. Okay. I'm going to open up Fusion really quick. I'm going to open it up real quick because my, my intro is playing as my wallpaper. Come on. Open it up. I think I opened it. I think we're good. Is it open? It says it is. Just give it a second. But yeah, okay. Well, while I'm waiting on it to open, I can go ahead and let you in on the secrets. So essentially, what I'm going to be doing here is showing you my 3 all-time favorite Master System FM soundtracks in order. So I'm going to be doing from number 3 to number 1. So number 1 is my all-time favorite Master System FM track. And if you want me to make a whole... Okay, hold on. Why it's not opening up, I do not know. Let's open it up again. Come on. Okay, I'll be right back when I get it open. Yeah, so I'm back again. And it's actually been a little second because for whatever reason, Fusion would not open. And I tried my hardest to get it open, it just would not open, and I can't figure out why. Now, luckily for me, I keep multiple installations of Fusion on my PC, multiple separate installations of Fusion. So, in case problems, I do it for a lot of things, just so I can make sure if something like this ever happens. Like, I have multiple installations of OBS hidden in my PC. I think I have another one of Steam, if that's possible. I don't know. I have multiple Redreams. I have multiple everything. I keep a lot of installations of things because I am a huge, on the safe side type of guy, okay, when it comes to PCs and stuff. Not because, because like I said, I very well knew my way around see, you think just because this is my first PC, I only just now am learning a lot about PCs. That's a complete lie. I already knew my way extremely well around a computer. I just never owned one personally until now. You see what I'm saying? So I already knew. That doesn't mean I didn't have one ever in my house or I just didn't know how to use them at all. I just now only own my own. I just now for the first time own my own personal computer. That doesn't mean I've never used one. I know my way around the PC extremely well, so I like to be on the safe side. So I have a second installation of Fusion, luckily. But we're back. So yeah, I tried restarting my PC and everything, and I couldn't get evidence as to. You can see a bunch of things pinned to my taskbar now because I finally decided to do that. In which I'm going to go ahead and hold on real quick. I'm going to close that. I'm also going to unpin that from the taskbar. Instead, I'm going to pin this new one to the. I'm going to actually pin that new one to the taskbar. But anyway, I also pinned OBS to the taskbar just to be smart. But here we go. So what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to go to the options really quick, and we're going to go to set config, and I just want to make sure that my controllers are all set. And no, they're not, but because I only need master system for now, we'll just go with that one, and I'm going to assume it's already defined. So we'll go to apply. So what you want to do is actually go here to the SMS, and we're going to disable the FM sound, because what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to show you the three games, right, with the FM sound, without the FM sound, and then I will show you with the FM sound. So we're just going to go over here, and we're going to ignore most of this stuff because I'm looking for certain things. Here we go. They're all right here. So we're going to start out with number 3, and that's Double Dragon. This is my third favorite FM soundtrack of all time, and I just want you to take a listen to it without the FM first, and then give me your thoughts. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure if you can hear that, so I'm gonna turn up the volume really quickly. Oops, I think I paused it. I don't know how though. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is it without the FM sound, and if I can pause that really quickly. Let's just open this up. Wait. Minimize real quick. Okay, so that's it without the FM sound. Now, I'll be back when I have the FM sound back on, because I also have to, well, never mind, you know what, because, yeah, never mind. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the FM sound back on. Oops. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the FM sound on, and I want you to hear, and this video is a mess. Keep in mind, again, I'm doing this weeks apart, okay? Weeks apart. So I'm trying to get everything organized, and I'm doing this late at night too, so it doesn't help that I'm also tired and have to edit this video right after. So we're just going to go ahead and reset this. Where's the reset button? Oh, I actually have a history here? No, I don't. Where's the reset button? Oh, soft reset. Oh no. Wait, that didn't actually reset the music. I need a hard reset. Okay. Power on, hard reset. There we go. Here we go. I'll just turn the music up real quickly. So I'm just gonna assume really quickly. Let's minimize that. Open it up. Turn that down really quickly. I'm gonna assume really quickly you can hear the huge difference in the music there. I mean, dude, the FM sounds like the 8-bit version. It's okay, but it's not like it's just old 8-bit music. But the FM sound, man, makes it sound completely different. Like if you showed me that, right, and told me, and you didn't tell me it was a Master System, and I didn't see the gameplay, I actually might have believed that was from a Super Nintendo game before I knew about the FM sound. If you would have told me that back in the day, I could have believed that was from a Super Nintendo game. Heck, I could have believed that was from a Sega Saturn game. Maybe. Like, okay, well, being a little bit fair, maybe, like I said, you could have convinced me it was the Super Nintendo game. Like, the FM sound is extremely good, and this is why I wish if Sega would have pursued this more in the Genesis, or at least kept this technology around, or had it integrated directly into the Genesis. Heck, if they even released another peripheral for the Genesis with FM sound, the music could have easily competed, if not beat, Super Nintendo music, in my personal opinion. Some of the tracks and these FM sounds, and also I want you to know this: just because I don't have a certain FM soundtrack here doesn't mean I don't love it. Like, one of the ones I'm thinking about, if you're a Sega enthusiast like me, or you like Sega Master, or you like the Sega Master System, I know I'm gonna get that one comment eventually saying, "Hey, what about Fantasy Zone?" I love Fantasy Zone FM sound. Like, dude, it's some of the best. It's just not my top 3 personally. It's on the list. You best believe it's in the top 10. Heck, it might even be number 4. But it's just not my all-time favorite, and I just wanted to make that clear. So we're gonna move on to the next game here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to options again, and we're just gonna turn. I didn't even know I could open it up within OBS, so that's cool. So we're just gonna go to here, apply, and then we're gonna change the game here. So the next game on the list, and the reason I'm just doing this here is because it's a lot easier, is actually Outrun. So if I press escape, what's gonna happen here? Yeah, okay, it's gonna open full screen. And you can hear Outrun. Hold on. Actually, escape that real quick. I'll turn up the audio for you guys. It's actually cool, I can do this right here. So you can hear it. Well, I'll turn it up about halfway. So you can hear the audio here, and you can hear it's not that good, okay? It's 8-bit, it's kind of staticky. I can't actually press start, so we're just gonna press, there we go. So we're just gonna select Pass and Breeze here, and I'll let you listen. So you can probably hear that it's a pretty good rendition of Passing Breeze, in my personal opinion. It is a very good version. It's just not on par with what I think personally the Master System can offer. Personally, like I said, just listen to the okay, sure, it's a good version of Outrun. The music is very good in 8-bit. It's extremely good music, but if we just go ahead and hard reset really quickly, and then I play you the FM sound, you'll hear the complete difference. Okay, so I think that's enough of a listen. Hold on. Okay, because the thing is, I can still hear it, although you can't. Okay, so I think that's enough of a listen for Outrun right there, and you could just get the sense of the huge difference and huge differences that the music really does make. The music in it is so good, so relaxing. I could listen to that music personally for hours. It's just really good and calm, and it's really nice, man. That is, like, Outrun FM is probably my favorite way to listen to the Outrun soundtrack besides Outrun 2006, because or Outrun 2 as you could call it, Outrun 2 Coast to Coast. You know what I'm saying? The music, man, especially Passing Breeze, just has such a relaxing beach vibe to it. Like when I listen to it, I just close my eyes and picture myself just lounging on a beach, laying in the sun, listening to some cool old Sega tunes, man. It's just it's that relaxing and good music, and like not saying that the 8-bit version is not good, because the 8-bit version is again still a rocking way to listen to the Outrun soundtrack, especially compared to the Genesis versions of the soundtrack. I mean, I like the Genesis versions of the soundtrack, and we're not going to start a debate here about which one is better, but personally, I would always choose Outrun the 8-bit soundtrack, even if it's the 8-bit version over the Genesis. But, I mean, the FM sound blows both of those out of the water. And again, I hope that demonstrates what I was talking about how the FM sound could potentially rival the Super Nintendo if given the right opportunities. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was a huge advocate as to, well, I mean, not really because I wasn't born yet, but I would have been a huge advocate for Sega to have that included in the Sega Genesis if they could have. It would have been really good. But we got one more game to move on to, and that next game is actually, you'll see here in a second, although I'm sure you've already seen it, so we're just going to disable the FM sound here. We're going to go ahead and go to Master System game, and this is the last game, and you can probably see it here if I can find it. Oh, here we go, right here. It's actually Rampage. Now, I'll go ahead and unmute this really quickly, and I'll let you hear the 8-bit version of it. So I think that's enough representation for that, personally. But you can hear it. It's not as good as what it could be, in my personal opinion. But when you like, okay, I'll let this be known now. I am not a big fan of Rampage's non-FM soundtrack. Personally, I just don't like the way it sounds compared to, I mean, it's okay, but it's not anything I'm personally going to listen to, and I didn't mean to click that. We're actually going to go ahead and open up. We're going to just hard reset, and I'll quickly turn the music back on so you can hear. Okay. So I think that's a good representation. Okay, I think that's a good enough listen there. Okay. Now time to discuss. And I know we're just sitting on my boring old OBS screen again, but hey, I really want to discuss this. Okay. So now you've got a good taste of the music. I love, man, Rampage, and that one song kind of plays throughout the whole game, and I know it can get annoying for a lot of people, but personally, I love that song. The FM song, and I hope you know the FM sound unit is not just a sound unit for, music. It also does sound effects, and if you pay attention between the sound effects between each game, you'll notice that they're better in the FM sound than the normal 8-bit sound. It's an all-around better way to experience these Master System games. And personally, I don't hear enough people talk about it. Like, people talk about it, but they don't talk about it. Personally, like, I just think it should be a bigger topic. Especially when people talk about the NES versus the Master System. I don't think the FM sound gets enough how you say, enough attention, I guess you could say. And I mean, to be honest with you, sure, you could argue that the list of games wasn't that big, but I think it was a pretty nice sized list of compatibility. I mean, in the grand scheme of how many Master System games there actually were, it was a nice list, personally. And it's really good. And yeah, you could also make the argument that, hey, it wasn't available to everywhere in the world, so who really cares about it? And yeah, you can make that argument, but I mean, it was a really good add-on, and personally, I think it would have been worth the purchase back in the day. Although, yeah, I do think Sega could have made. I'm sorry. Listen, I know I'm messing up a lot tonight, but listen, it's late. If you look down there, it's 10:57. It's late, okay? I've been up all day since early this morning, and I've just been, I'm just now getting recorded. I still have to edit, so I'm kind of, I'm not saying I'm tired, but I am kind of, a little bit out of it because it's late. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, personally, I just think I wish Sega would have took advantage of this technology, explored it a little bit more, maybe put something similar, if not the same thing, in the Genesis. I do think it could have helped in the Genesis versus Super Nintendo music debate, because personally, I love the Genesis music, but rocky, gritty music isn't everyone's taste, and something smooth and nice like the FM sound, I think it could have gave Sega a huge one-up in the Nintendo, Sega 16-bit music debate, okay? Because personally, I feel like, now that is one thing I'll be fair to. I think both 16-bit consoles, all three, even the TurboGrafx 16, although it's technically an 8-bit console, but we're not going to talk about that. Although it's technically an 8-bit console, I do think all three of those do a pretty good job with music. Heck, I even think the Jaguar did a great job with music. Heck, the Panasonic 3DO did a great job with music. Heck, the what was that one system called? It was from, I think it was Commodore. I think it was Commodore's system. No, it wasn't. What was that sucker called? I don't remember what it was called, and I'm not even gonna try and say it. The Neo Geo has great music. Personally, I just love video game music anyway. Like, okay, I'll go ahead and give you a Nintendo game, Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong music. I'll go ahead and admit it right now. I can care less. I love Donkey Kong music. Now, I personally think Nintendo does not do good music. Personally, like first party wise, that's just something I've always believed in. I don't know. Nintendo's just always made wacky tunes to me. In a lot of their games, it gives me almost a Looney Tune feeling, and it's just something I've never liked. Which even in something like Splatoon and other things like that, I really just don't like Nintendo music. It just does not sit well with me, and I always will proclaim that Sega is the king of music. But Donkey Kong, man, Donkey Kong music does something to me. Like, it's really good and so relaxing. Like, dude, I can't tell you how many times I've went to sleep. Like, dude, if you want some great music, dude, check out let me see really quick. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone so I can tell you what it is actually called. Check out, and I know I'm gonna be an advocate for Donkey Kong music, but I really don't care. So Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy, Crimlantis, man, such an underrated and good song. Nobody talks about it, dude. Go check out Crimlantis. But that's besides the point. Master System FM sound. Awesome. Really good. And in fact, if you would like a video in the future, separate of this video, talking about more of my favorite FM songs from the Master System, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and I'll make that video my top 5 or top 10 FM Master System songs. Because there's some great stuff out there. That being said, though, I'm not going to stumble on anymore. If you're new here, if you can subscribe, that'd be really awesome. We're trying to reach 300 subscribers, and you'd be helping us out a lot. Make sure to share this video with your friends to become a Super Slayer. I've been the West Coast Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64, and I know this second half part was a little bit random, but keep in mind the first half was recorded before I had a cold, and this is a whole week later, and I kind of forgot what I said in the first half of the video, and I just kind of went off muscle memory in this video and some of my notes, and I'm coming back, I'm still coming back off that cold. I'm pretty much done, but it's still a little bit lingering, and it's late. So yeah, if this part of the video seemed a little random to you and maybe unorganized and I messed up a lot of my words, that is why, but I still hope you enjoyed at least the first half. That being said though, until next time, have a good one, Slayers.